Welcome back to the FPS tutorial. This is part 9, I believe. Today we're going to be adding some more attachments, maybe at a push getting them to work in third person, and I think maybe we'll probably work on the attachment menu. So in the last video, if I just start the game right now, I forgot to equip attachments. Yippee. Right, let me reset. Okay. So we can change attachments. So we can equip a suppressor and a red dot. The red dot isn't functional yet. We'll start to do that soon. We might add functionality to sights. And we're going to fix that issue with suppressors. We can also do things like foregrips. If I add a bunch of attachments, I'll probably just go over in a time lapse or do a lot of stuff off camera. I also have a lot of polished stuff I want to do, which, first of all, running while shooting. I am going to remake shooting, kind of. We're going to use fast cast, which is just a better way of handling it for multiple reasons, which I'll go over probably in the next episode, maybe part 10. I don't know. But for today, we're just going to fix some issues that we have currently. I'm also planning on doing a bigger episode soon, like pretty soon, on optimizing the framework. So just making it run better. Because right now it runs pretty average. A lot of the code is unpolished. If we go to framework client, as you can see, we have a 1000 line script. Not exactly perfect, but I mean it works, so yeah. But most of optimizing is literally just adjusting things that are in render stepped. So if something's in render stepped, that doesn't need to be there or can be ran. If it doesn't have to be there, or like maybe, let's say we want to detect when the player's moving, instead of putting it in render stepped, we'll say humanoid.changed, which fires every time it changes, obviously. The only issue with that is it doesn't update as much, but, you know. Alright. I think the first thing we should do is fix the shooting sound. So if we go to attachments, yeah, we just set, I don't like what we did here, but we just set sound ID to that. So what we're going to do is go to framework client. How do we call this? Setup. So control F to open this menu. I'm going to type in setup. Here it is. It's the only one that we need. So this is for barrel devices. So what we could do is when do we create the shoot sound? I think it's in yeah, it's obviously in server script service. But I just want to see here. I say we handle the sound effects in here, and then the effects of the not the suppressor, just the attachments are handled in here. So this is more of like a, if the player has an attachment equipped, we'll detect it in here. But if we want to adjust any extra details, we'll do it in here. It's like sounds. Okay. So in attachments, I'm going to just remove this, and I'm going to say print suppressor equipped or something. I'll remove additional info. And I might say framework dot inventory, framework dot inventory not framework.inventory, framework.current slot. So then we're passing through the name of the weapon. So if we say weapon, here we say suppressor equipped on, a semicolon and a space, a colon and a space, I guess. And then here we'll say dot dot, and we'll say weapon. And that should print that we have changed attachment. So, they equip a suppressor. This is all working normally. And as you can see, actually that's wrong. And I think I know why. I'm guessing we fire this before we actually change the current slot. Do we have it in the module? I don't know why we would have it in the module. Do we have it in the module? No, we don't. Okay. Framework.viewModel.name? Sure, why not? We can always change it later. Yeah, we still need to remove the right mouse button look in here, which we will do later. We have more important things to do right now. Select. Okay, that works so far. Yep, it works. Definitely not the best way we could do it, but right now it gets the job done. Because right now it's pretty basic. Alright. So we can detect what weapon we have equipped. So that's good for later, I guess. But here, we'll say if, do we have, we do, okay. If module and module, oh, we already have if module. If module dot, I need to look for when the attachments were. Sounds dot, oh, attachments. Dot attachments dot current. Is it current barrel device? Equals, and then you can put like any names of your suppressor. We can just, I got rid of it, so I'm gonna have to redo it. So here's just a regular sound. Here is where we're gonna put our suppressor sound. So sounds.attachment sounds 1. That should be right, unless I misspelled it. I think it should work. We'll test it and we'll see if it does. Okay, so there it works. Aha. I think I know, yeah, I know why. If I set this to attachment, oh no. If I set this to, yeah, no, we'll do attachments. Then we've got a framework client, find load slot, fire server. Here. Are we missing something? Ah, no. And we will put wait, no, hold on. But attachments dot current barrel device, and we'll actually just up here we'll just say has suppressor, and then here I'll remove this breakpoint. Instead of this we'll just say if has suppressor then, and that should have the same effect. Just a little bit messy. Ah, okay. Oh yeah, it's because I typed. Why did I do that? Guess this is what happens when I don't upload in 2 goddamn months. Oh, I think we did it the wrong way. Oh, and no, it's because it checks. Oh, well, I just closed it. God damn it. Yeah, no, it checks if the player has suppressor. You know what? Instead of has suppressor, we'll just call it suppressor. If suppressor oh, you know what? No, we'll call it barrel device. Yeah, why not? I wanna kind of have my code make sense. Equals. That should work. Yeah, I forgot to equip. Oh god damn. And yeah, it works. Alright, next thing we're gonna change is being able to run while shooting. So we put that in here. We don't set is sprinting to false. The walk speed is 13. So assuming that we shoot, we should say humanoid dot walk speed equals 13, which in turn should stop us from running. But then if we hold it down, I mean, we could always move this into framework client, or we could just leave it like that and then go down to, this is probably this is probably going to be changed because this comes with a few issues. You know what, no, we're just going to move it. Why not? I might just move all of this into the client script and then just, yeah, I think that's what I'll do. So input began. Paste this. Input ended. And in here we'll say, and can sprint. We're going to make a variable called can sprint at the top. So if that equals true, then we can sprint. Here can sprint equals false. That will set it to true. And I'm gonna go down to the bottom. Here where we set this to false, I'm gonna say can sprint equals true. Yeah. This should work, I think. Oh yeah, wait, no. I'm kinda stupid. If we go to the shoot function, and here say humanoid dot walk speed equals 13. I think that should have the same effect, or the effect that we want. Looks pretty good. Alright, so I think now that that works, we can start to add more stuff. Because right now our framework doesn't really have any bugs. And if it does have bugs, then it's bugs that we intend to fix later. Yeah, okay, so what we'll do is we're going to make sites actually show something. So, to do this, I'm going to grab a part. This is probably one of the laziest solutions I could think of, but I mean, it works. If you want an image to overlay, you can probably figure it out yourself. If not, then I'll just sort of speak over it. So, just make a GUI that's like a scope, and then what you want to do after that is just make just make a GUI out of it, and then just make it appear or disappear depending on if you're aiming down sight or not. So I just found yeah, red dot didn't really bring up much. Yeah, we'll go with this one. So this will be our scope. We're gonna set this to an equal size, so we'll just do 1, 1, 1. Which we can make it a bit thinner. And then the idea is that this is gonna be invisible, and then I'll call this reticle. I'll set can collide to false. So I'll bring it over to the view model. Actually, bring it to this red dot site. Yeah, no, I'll bring it up to the view model actually, because we're locking it onto the view model. So we will open it, go to attachments, make red dot visible, and make everything else invisible. Get this. You know what, I'm gonna select the red dot, get its position, and I'm gonna set the position of the reticle to the position of the red dot, which is honestly pretty close. It's a little big. That's a little bit off. My idea for this is we have this over here, and we basically say you can only see it if you're looking through this area. So we'll drag this into the red dot. We'll go to rig edit light. In here we can make all of these invisible except the front and the rear sight. And we can try it in game. Really quick, I just want to see if I made reticle transparent. I didn't, but you're going to be able to see that. I have an idea on how we can stop it from happening. Shouldn't really pose much of an issue, but for right now it'll be fine. We can fix it in a minute. It is not transparent. That's the first problem. And I believe I know why. It's because here we'll say rv.name equals reticle, and then here we'll say find first child, which is a, and we'll say, but this, I think it's a, yeah, it's a decal, but no, we need to put here dot reticle, and otherwise we can just leave it transparent. So here we can just go to the decal, make it transparent. So now whenever we have that sight equipped, it will make the reticle visible, but when we don't, it will make it invisible. So if we equip the M4, it's not visible. We reset and we re-equip it. The red dot is there. And it's a little bit unrealistic, but we're gonna fix that later. Also, you can see it. So, in here, we're gonna say if is aiming, then for I, comma v in pairs framework dot view model dot attachments. I think that's how he spelled it. Capital A. Colon get descendants do. If v colon is a decal, if v dot parent dot transparency equals 0, then v dot transparency equals 0, and then here we'll copy this, paste it here. We'll just check if it's a decal and we'll set transparency to 1. Now that should make it so when we're aiming it's visible, but when we're not, it's not. Don't know why you equip suppressor. But now it kind of functions normally. So, yeah. And here I might say, and is reloading equals false. If you want aim down sights reloads, don't put this. And is inspecting you know what, we'll just say is reloading equals false for now. Because later I'm gonna make it so you just can't do that. So now it's invisible when we're reloading. We also can't aim down sights. We can, however, inspect when we're reloading. So, inspect. When we fire the inspect, I'll say and is reloading equals false, and is shooting equals false, and is aiming equals false. And that should work. Yep, it does. Nice. So I think this will be as far as we take red dot sights for today. You know what we'll do? For the last part of today's video, we're gonna start with map design. And then in the next episode, we'll start adding like some more gameplay. We'll start adding gameplay features. And then after that, we'll start adding some more stuff like recoil and that sort of stuff. So map design. I'm gonna time lapse through a lot of this, but I'll give you like a general idea. Map design. map design is it's kind of tedious at times. Some people might like it, some people might not. I'm just gonna sort of like talk over this part and give you some like help or guidance. So basically with map design, typically in FPS shooters, I prefer to like have a map that's sort of basically kind of like a grid. I'll put up an image on screen that's like a diagram, and in between those grids are just like objects and stuff and like props, but those grid like lines are like pathways that people can go, and you want to imagine each pathway is like a specific point for a specific type of player. So for example, the middle pathway would be like, you can run straight through here, but there's a risk of getting sniped. Side pathways could be like, you can push through here, like that kind of thing. There could also be pathways on top, which if you're going to have multiple stories, let's say for like a building or something, then that would work fine. The map that I kind of went with was just some random town, I guess. I don't really know. But I made it using free models. I'd recommend not doing that if you're making an actual like game. If you're just learning, or like if it's just for fun or something, then you could totally get away with you could get away with it. But if it's just for like if it's for an actual game, then I'd recommend modeling the stuff yourself or getting them from a source other than the toolbox. Yeah, but I'd recommend starting out with like a grey box, is what it's called. Basically, if you know what a blockout is, it's like making something in its roughest form. So like here, as you can see, I'm making it out of parts in Roblox. This is just me messing around with like a layout, trying to get it to work well. So a lot of this is just testing scale, testing the flow of the level, and making sure that you can't like snipe people off spawn, you know, stuff like that. So my idea was, when I was building it, I just sort of went for it. I didn't plan it, I didn't think of it, I just went for it. And yeah, as you can see here, I was trying to go for like a bridge over the top or something, but I couldn't really get it to look right. I decided I might add multiple different ways to get onto these roofs, which could be like a way to push. So I put some boxes here, which could maybe be climbed on potentially. Also just some filler stuff that aren't really important. Trees to separate different areas on the map. And just to make it look less boring. And also to make it so you can't get shot through them. I put some more filler stuff like trash cans in. I was placing barrels to get onto the roof. I didn't do an interior for the buildings today. My idea was you could push through the building. Map size, I mean, it depends on things like how many players will be on it. So for example, like if you're having a map for like 4 to 6 people, you don't want it to be big like at all. But if you're making a map for like, let's say 50 people or something, then you want it to be pretty big, because you obviously need enough space for everybody to play and not like get rushed every 10 seconds, and also not have to wait like a long amount of time to get into combat. Now, the stuff that I'm explaining here is only for like arcade shooters. If you're making something more like, I don't know, Escape from Tarkov, that's more like tactical or realistic, different rules probably apply to this. Like, make sure your maps, it has good flow, but it's not like you're gonna get pushed every couple of seconds. So I'd recommend doing some research. There's tons of map design stuff online. Most of what I learned was just from Googling every like night for like an hour, maybe for like a week. And yeah, there's some really good resources. I might link some in the description, which I dug to find. And I think they might help you out a lot. And now I start placing props. There's a lot of variation because I'm finding them from the toolbox, which is also another issue you might encounter. But right now I'm just deciding what's gonna fit and what's not. Just placing things down. I start to look for things like trash cans and crates and stuff. I also put down a few vehicles and trees. Yeah. Something I didn't do in this video, but I'd also recommend doing later, is adding something in the background over the walls of the map. You don't have to have walls, it's just how I did it. But I'd recommend having something in the distance so you're not just looking into a void. Unless that's the kind of map it is, maybe it's like a desert or something. In that case, then go for it. But yeah, don't make it too detailed either, because it's going to be in the distance, so you don't really need it to be detailed at all. It can just be something that was thrown together in like 10 seconds, and it'll probably do the job. I also started placing parts for the floor, because yeah, we need a floor, obviously, we don't want to just have a base plate. I also started placing bushes because I thought they might fit, and I kind of liked them. As you can see, they were clipping a little bit, so I adjusted them. Yeah, they were just poking out. And yes, I just sort of like started moving things around. Yeah, just adjusting them. I also saw these this little like flower bed thing, and I just thought those would look okay, so I just started placing them. I placed them on each side. I tried to make each side similar, which is probably something you want to avoid, but I was pushed for time, and this was a tutorial, so I just sort of left it as it is, which I don't think it's that bad anyway, but it's probably not a good idea to have it the same on each side. But I mean, then again, at least that way everybody has an equal opportunity, right? But yeah. Sorry if my voice is a little bit off. I'm trying to I'm watching it in editing right now and just like talking over it, so if this sounds a little bit off, then sorry about that. But what I'm doing right now is I'm just making sure everything is the right material and the right color. You can learn about material service, which is a good way to get like good looking materials in Roblox. It's not that complicated to learn. I actually figured it out myself. I started placing the sun using a plugin that I'll link in the description. It just lets you move the sun. I also started tweaking clouds and lighting, which is a whole other topic. You can look at some of the stuff in my videos. I added effects such as like bloom, depth of field, color correction. I also started playing around with the fog and like the atmosphere, changing the colors. I might make a separate tutorial on lighting, because somebody suggested that idea in my Discord server, and I think it's not a bad idea actually. I think it would work pretty well. But yeah, I'm just making sure that the lighting looks okay. Once I was happy with it, I decided to add in some puddles because I thought, you know, it'd give it more depth. I found these, they look a little bit off, but you know, it's pretty good for Roblox's standards. So I just sort of placed them around and just rotated them randomly. I'd usually put more time into this, but once again, it's a tutorial. And once I had something I liked, I just thought, that's probably where I should leave it. So yeah, that's map design. I just placed in a spawn after that, and yeah. I think what I'm going to do though is in game settings, because my map's a little bit big, you could just scale the map down, but I'm going to do an easier solution, which some of you might oppose against. I'm going to change to Arthro. I'm still going to use standard animation. So that should make our character a little bit taller. And there we go. So just make sure every part is anchored and then play again. Gonna have to rotate the spawn. But yeah, I think that's gonna be it for today. We'll start to do like some other stuff in the next few videos, so like more gameplay stuff. Sorry if this video seemed kind of random. I know we did map design at a weird spot, but I just kind of felt like doing it, so yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you guys later.